We are the one, the light in the dark. One heart, one world, one spark. We are the one, together we rise. One dream, one voice, one sky.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Women Empowered Across the World. This is our podcast, and I have the amazing Jackie Zaccoli hosting with me. Jackie comes from Arizona, but she is global. And please go check out her Gen platform, her Gen network, Global Impact Network, every Tuesday. Amazing. You must go and experience it. I'm Carol Witt. I'm the founder and the director of YEA Global. We're in 82 countries now. And that was through a declaration that I declared I wanted to go global. And we teach mindset. It's the biggest deal. And the 7 pillars for thriving. And we have an amazing guest. I already know a little about her, Rhonda. Rhonda, we are so excited to have you here. And please come and inspire us and our listeners. Join us.
Thank you so much. So, I'm a midlife reinvention mentor. I travel full time as a solo traveler, and I'm also founder of Midlife Rendezvous, and more recently, as a SaaS founder of NomadFlow. And for the past almost a decade now, I've been living and working around the world, helping women realize that freedom and reinvention doesn't have an expiration date, especially when they want to combine travel, work, and their purpose, right? So, when I look back, it's always interesting knowing that, like, when I introduce myself, like, it's interesting knowing that my life, it sounds like my life is summarized, right? Because it sounds very intentional, when in reality it unfolded just one small decision at a time. And when I look back now, there's a clear thread through everything I've done. But at the time, I was really just following curiosity and paying attention to what felt meaningful. And I spent more than 25 years in publishing as a book designer, helping authors take their ideas and experiences and turn them into stories that could reach other people and create creativity and storytelling were always at the center of my work. And looking back, I realize I've always worked with stories, first on the page, and now later through lived experience. It's changed. And for years, I helped people bring their stories into the world, and I didn't realize at the time that I was slowly learning how to reshape my own. So I've always worked with stories, but now the medium has changed. And when I began traveling, I didn't leave my work behind. I continued working as a freelance book designer while traveling full time, and that's really how I became location independent. I redesigned my life around the work that could move with me instead of staying tied to one place. So travel didn't replace my work, it expanded how I saw the world and what was possible. So I spent much of that first year volunteering while continuing my design work remotely, working with communities, with women, and with animal shelters because I'm a huge animal lover. And I remember realizing that the moments that stayed with me weren't the places or the views, it was the people. And spending time with women who were rebuilding their lives, single mothers, survivors of difficult circumstances, it shifted my perspective completely. And travel stopped being just about freedom for me and started being about connection and contribution. And that experience still shapes how I live today. So wherever I stay for a while, I try to give back in ways that feel meaningful because that's the part of the journey that continues to feed my soul. And I think that when I realized this journey wasn't just about changing my own life anymore, it was about understanding how experience can turn into something that helps other people too. So, in essence, travel expanded my world, but volunteering grounded it. And the biggest change wasn't geographical, it was internal. Living in unfamiliar places teaches you adaptability very quickly. But every time something goes wrong and you figure it out, you trust yourself just a little more. And I learned that discomfort doesn't always mean something is wrong. Sometimes it means you're growing into a new version of yourself. So confidence doesn't come before change, it comes after you realize you can handle what you were afraid of. And I never set out to become a mentor. I was simply sharing what I was learning, and other women began reaching out. Women from different countries, even as I, travel, were asking very similar questions about freedom and safety and what comes next. And that's when I realized that this experience could actually help other women see new possibilities for themselves. Because leadership doesn't always start with a title. Sometimes it starts with sharing honestly. And that's really a place that
Mm.
I connect with and that I want to evoke. Um, and Midlife Rendezvous grew from those conversations. It became a space where women could see that change doesn't have to be dramatic. And sometimes it's just about making small decisions that bring your life back into alignment. And over the past year, I found myself evolving again, this time intellectually. At and AI entered my life slowly and intentionally, um, because it wasn't about technology first. It was about solving real problems I kept seeing women struggle with. And I've always been a builder through publishing and design, a creator and a maker. And AI simply became the next tool because innovation starts with listening to real problems, right? And so as I started learning more and more about AI, I felt very threatened by it, coming from the world of graphic design and publishing. It felt like an attack, it felt like a threat. And instead of defying it or, turning my head to it, I got curious and leaned in because I wanted to understand not only what it was, but how it could help me if it could. And so that curiosity just became a new place for me to start learning that AI wasn't there to replace me, but to actually amplify me and the services I provide and amplify my voice in a really big way. And the crazy thing is I never set out to design an app either or to build an app. And NomadFlow came from solving my own problems first. So planning a location independent life can feel overwhelming, right? Because everything is fragmented. And what I realized is that clarity reduces fear. Once people can see the path, they're more willing to take the first step. And I found that to be true for myself as well. So, one of the greatest gifts of traveling has been seeing how similar women's hopes and challenges are around the world. And the circumstances may look different, but the desire to live intentionally, it's universal.
Yes.
And I think change often starts quietly with one woman deciding to do something differently. And when she shares that experience honestly, it gives other women permission to do the same in their own way. And our stories aren't fixed. At any point, we're allowed to turn the page and write something new. So, um, I love that, um, that our stories aren't fixed and we're allowed to turn the page because we can.
Oh, oh my goodness. Okay, well, you have a little more time. Tell us what you're doing right now. What are you doing inside of a service? What kind of things are you offering?
Right. So midlife rendezvous, there's a lot of things happening right now. So, I want to empower other women, especially in midlife, because that's really where reinvention started for me. Because I didn't, I didn't plan this life to be the way it has turned out, right? So I was going through a life transition. My marriage was ending, and I just took the leap. And I did it in kind of a radical way. I sold everything and I bought a backpack and a one-way ticket and went, let's try this. And so over the years, um, I began to realize that there were so many other women who wanted to live this location independent life. And there's a lot of fears that come around that. It's, fears of safety and change and language barriers and crossing time zones and trying to remain productive and really wanting to achieve that work-life balance. And so I've developed programs that help women with that and teach them how to go from stuck to start, essentially. And I just recently developed this really fun tool. It's free, but it's a midlife clarity finder tool that will kind of help them find their point A. And there's lots of useful resources in there that will help um, guide them to finding their point A, right? But I also offer one-on-one sessions. I have a group program. I'm building a school community right now, and I, of course, I've built NomadFlow, so that's like the new app tool that I'm promoting because that's helping women in midlife um, travel better, travel safely, and help them create that work-life balance without the chaos. And there's lots of layers I've added specifically for women, because we have jet lag. And, if you're in midlife, you're dealing with hormonal changes while you're traveling. Some of us are dealing with health issues. And so I have provided as much information through NomadFlow to help relieve all of those stresses and concerns about safety and wellness, trip planning with NomadFlow. So I'm excited. There's a lot I'm doing right now.
So amazing, Rhonda. So amazing that you would literally sell everything and take a
I
one-way
know.
ticket and just go somewhere. Did you have a place in mind that you wanted to go to? Did you flip a coin? What did you do to choose your first destination where you took off? and became a nomad?
So, I had been living with the dream for about 8 years
Ah.
prior to me taking the leap. And I had designed a book for a woman called Mapping Your Volunteer Vacation. And the concept was like life-changing for me. I was like, wait a minute. So she took a whole year off and traveled the world and volunteered. She was in Russian orphanages and like she just had all these beautiful stories and she created this book around how to do that. And as I'm designing these pages and putting this beautiful piece of work together for her, I'm learning more and more about what's possible because I didn't even know the concept existed, right? And so that became my goal. Like I wanted to volunteer and travel the world. And I wasn't in a position where I could just take time off for an entire year without income, right? And I was already working remotely, but the digital nomad term wasn't even a thing. I was working from my home office and we weren't working in Starbucks yet or, all those things. And so that dream lived with me. So I did want to volunteer and I initially wanted to write a book um, for women entrepreneurs. And this book was about traveling to the Americas. I wanted to travel to Central and South America and volunteer for other women entrepreneurs and learn what entrepreneurship looked like for them compared to how we get to experience here in North America. And so I began searching for volunteer opportunities, and you're not going to believe this, but my very first volunteer opportunity, and I was living in Las Vegas at the time. I volunteered for a woman who was running a yoga ashram in the jungle of Nicaragua. And I lived and learned from her. I lived there for a month, and that was my very first experience out of the country on my own. And the crazy thing is I didn't even speak Spanish. And what's even crazier is I didn't even consider the fact before I left my own country that I might have benefited from learning a second
Yeah,
language
just
because
maybe. Yeah.
my experience of I flew into Costa Rica and then the next day took a bus to Nicaragua. And I have a whole experience about that. Like
Book on the bus,
that's
I'm
probably
sure.
another
Yeah.
that's another TED talk.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so that was my experience. So then from Nicaragua, I volunteered in Costa Rica and Guatemala. And so I ended up interviewing 12 women. And I never wrote that book.
Oh,
And I have all these interviews. And, now that I say this out loud, I feel like I need to commit to that because it's been on my
mhm.
heart all this time. But, life is just moving so rapidly. Time is moving rapidly, right? And so I've made other things my priorities, but I interviewed 12 beautiful women
Mm.
who all have entrepreneurial spirits in other countries. And it was really an amazing experience. And so that is how I started giving back to all the other communities that I traveled in. Even though I wasn't interviewing other women anymore, I really wanted to give back in ways that I could because um, I am a survivor of domestic violence and abuse and rape. And those are the women that really speak to me because I get it. Like I was there. And I'm an animal lover, so I volunteer in animal shelters. I fostered puppies in Mexico when I was living there. So, you
Boy.
know, there's a lot to unpack. So,
Oh my
um,
goodness. Well,
I told
Rhonda,
you.
I already know we have to have you back
Yeah,
because
I
you guys
know.
share more
I know.
stories with us. Oh
Uh,
my gosh, your
I
life
told
is
you.
amazing.
oh,
And I love that you designed it. You
Yeah, exactly.
created what
I
you
did
wanted
it.
in your life.
Yeah.
You didn't have circumstances create it for you. You said, this is what I want. And you went for it. And I love that. Oh, I
So
know you're going to
beautiful.
inspire so many women out there. We're going to have
Thank you.
way more nomads out there in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Well, it hasn't been without um, controversy.
Oh, sure.
You know, I've lost I didn't have a lot of support from friends. I had more support from friends than I did from family.
Okay.
Um, who
That kind of
don't
is how it works.
right,
mhm,
right. And so they don't see
Mhm.
the beauty of the life that I've created.
Yeah.
You know, they come from a different place. And so um it's a little heartbreaking. And at the end of the day, I still choose me. I still have to choose me and honor myself. Like this is the last chapter
Yeah.
um, of my life, you know, like, and I want to make those the best chapters that I possibly can
Oh,
with with what resonates with me and what makes my heart happy.
yeah, beautiful.
wow. Well, what I hear is you love humanity.
I do.
You honestly love people. And not everybody can say that, but boy, am I a kindred spirit with people that do because it resonates. It's there in all that you do and all you take on and all that you support. Your love for humanity is always showing up, always showing up. So thank you for being that.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being that. Oh my goodness. And that you love hearing the greatness of people, like going out and really experiencing their greatness.
Yeah. Well,
That's
and
that's like a dream. Uh
Yeah,
that's like a dream to so many people that
right.
could just go and do that. Oh my
And more
goodness.
than that, I want to show women what's possible.
Yeah, I
mhm,
got that. Totally got.
So,
Yeah,
so
you're
much is
championing their
possible.
spirits, dear. You're championing their entrepreneurial spirits. You're
Yeah.
championing their spirits and having them after one of the things that I really see about you is that you make a difference for them, they make a difference for you. It's a give
Mm,
and take in those relationships you're making out there.
yeah.
You
I like that.
you're walking away with something so valuable, and they're walking away with something so valuable. They'll never forget that experience with you,
mhm,
and you won't forget it with them.
Thank you.
So amazing. I really do. I want to have you back. And I
mhm.
would love to have you come and be a guest speaker
Yeah,
in
I
my
was
Ronda
thinking of Jen
Taylor
already. I want her on
program.
March 3rd is what I want her on is March 3rd. We got the
Yes,
date
well,
down. Now I got to get her body there.
we will be having ours. May 21st is our first classroom, but after classroom 4, we have guest speakers come and inspire our students from all over the world. You would inspire them.
That would be
So
great.
amazing.
That
Yeah,
would be great. Yeah.
you see
I would
Mhm.
what's
love
so
that.
important about that whole concept of you being a speaker is that the women and that are in the groups as well as those that are being taught, so to speak, by the nonprofits have no clue. They have no clue the freedom that they could have,
Mm,
plus what they could learn. You know, they have to be able to afford it. They can't just say I'm on a bus and going. You have to be able to afford it.
right.
So that point, though it's and the other thing that's really really important and you haven't stressed very much is that the app itself
Mm.
is at such detail of what's available in locations all over the world.
Oh,
It's
yes.
amazing. Here's
It's
the
global.
hotel. Here is the restaurant. Here's how you keep it safe. These are the things you need to know. These are the languages. I mean, you've gone through the entire thing per country. And I have no clue how you compiled all of that.
Yeah. And
The
it
point.
doesn't matter which passport you hold in the world. It is
Mhm,
built to design um, a passport holder from every country. So it will tell you where you're allowed to go and if there's a visa fee and how long you can stay there.
Ooh,
Yeah.
What
I'm
neighborhoods are
excited.
safe for you to stay in, provides all the emergency contact information for
Oh,
the cities that you're in,
I
the
know it.
nearest pharmacies and your your embassy and the hospital and the fire and police. Like it just gives you all the information because when you're traveling like this, especially as a solo traveler and a woman in midlife, especially, um,
Mhm.
fear is their number one safety. I mean, their number
Dilemma.
one fear is safety, is what I was
Yeah.
trying to say.
yeah.
Um, and like I learned all of this the hard way. I had to learn how to navigate this path as a solo woman because I didn't start traveling until I was 53. And I'm going to be 63 in
You
March.
made up for lost time.
So in 10
Right.
years, huh? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been living this life nearly a decade.
Oh
oh
my
my
gosh.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Oh, there's
definitely
hope for us, Carol. There's hope for us.
A
That will be
hundred
our next life.
percent.
Yeah,
A hundred
right.
We
percent.
definitely have to have you back. I know I want to go to Africa so bad because I have so many students in Africa. But yeah, I've got some challenges, and so I tried twice actually, but I got COVID once, and then a war
Oh,
broke out in South Sudan, and
yeah.
they didn't
Well,
let
I've
me
been to
travel.
Morocco, but
So
there's a
yeah,
lot more of Africa because
yeah.
very high in my bucket list is I want
Uh,
to experience a gorilla expedition,
oh my
Oh, well,
a
goodness.
gorilla
I have
trek.
a gorilla person that's in charge of the park there.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, that
I
is
Yeah.
have
very high
people
on my
that run.
bucket list.
Oh yeah, we have people that run safaris. We have people that, oh my goodness, so
Yeah.
You
many
name it.
different things.
Yep.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. So, oh my gosh. All right. So,
Where are we?
I know, where are we? Okay,
Carol's
so
like, I
guys,
told you.
I know. So guys, you love these episodes, please share them out with people. Let Rhonda go out everywhere so people really get the life she's living and what's possible inside that kind of life. Amazing. Please subscribe to our channel. Make comments on the episode when I put it up in YouTube and find us on LinkedIn. I'll be posting it out on LinkedIn. Please come comment and repost it so it goes out everywhere. One of the things about this platform, guys, is this. I want women to have a voice. I want women to share their unique, beautiful stories with everyone. And I want all the women out there listening to these episodes to start dreaming, start seeing possibility, start taking action in their dreams and their goals. And that's what this platform's all about, is empowering women to step up, step out, take risk, go for it. You only have one life, guys. Let's thrive in it. So thank you, Rhonda, for being an amazing guest. And we will be having you back because I know you've got way more stories to share with us. So excited. And guys, please know we all deserve to thrive. Let's do this together. Bye, everyone.